Sean Diddy Combs, once a titan in the music industry, now finds himself at the center of a federal storm. With a criminal case packed with charges from racketeering and sex trafficking to conspiracy and fraud, Diddy's legal troubles have been splashed across headlines worldwide. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get any more complicated, a shocking new twist emerged, a leaked video showing Diddy allegedly assaulting Cassie Ventura. This explosive footage hit the public back in May, and now Diddy's team is claiming that the federal government might be behind the leak. They filed a motion alleging the Department of Homeland Security could be the source, but prosecutors are firing back, saying these allegations are straight up false. So, what's the truth here? Did the feds leak the video, or did it come from another source entirely? In a motion filed in U.S. District Court, prosecutors have responded to Diddy's allegations, stating that they had no hand in leaking the clip. In fact, they claim they didn't even have possession of the video when it surfaced on CNN in May. According to prosecutors, federal agents did search for this video early on in the investigation, but it was mysteriously missing from the hotel's server. It wasn't until CNN published the footage on May 17th that the video even resurfaced. Prosecutors have since clarified that they downloaded the footage from CNN's own site. They further emphasized that they still don't have the original copy of the video. To them, the idea that federal agents were involved in leaking this footage is simply not credible. But if the government didn't leak the footage, who did? According to federal prosecutors, many individuals and groups had access to this tape, not just government agents. Hotel employees, the security team hired to work the event, and even members of Diddy's own staff might have been able to release this video to the press. And yet, in Diddy's previous filings, his team pointed fingers at unnamed agents within the Department of Homeland Security as the likely source, claiming these agents had an interest in making his case public. Diddy's team is suspicious of DHS involvement because agents from Homeland Security have been cited in news stories covering his case. They argue that the quotes provided to the media may indicate a connection to the leaked footage. However, the federal prosecutors insist that there is no reason for an evidentiary hearing to investigate whether their team was behind the leak. The feds have been firm on this point, urging the court to dismiss the idea of an evidentiary hearing. They argue that Diddy's accusations are baseless and do nothing but shift attention away from the case's core issues. According to their statement, any leak that did occur had a multitude of potential sources, but they remain confident that federal agents were not involved. So, where does this leave Diddy? For now, he's still being held in federal detention in Brooklyn as he awaits trial. With serious criminal charges ranging from racketeering conspiracy to sex trafficking and fraud, he's facing some of the most severe accusations possible. And while he's wrapped up in multiple civil suits as well, it's this criminal case that has him in hot water with the federal authorities. Let's take a step back and look at the charges that Diddy is facing. This isn't just a simple assault case. Diddy's charges paint a far darker picture. Among the most severe are allegations of sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and transporting individuals for the purpose of prostitution. Essentially, the government is saying that Diddy orchestrated a complex network for exploitation, and that his powerful position enabled him to silence those he abused. But Diddy's team is fighting back hard, pointing to these leaks and government involvement as part of a broader conspiracy against him. They argue that the ongoing media leaks are damaging Diddy's reputation and preventing him from receiving a fair trial. In their motion, they suggest that DHS's involvement in news stories could hint at a concerted effort to publicly undermine his credibility before he even steps into a courtroom. With Diddy's legal team now in a tense standoff against federal prosecutors, this is shaping up to be one of the most complex and high-profile cases of the year. Diddy's legal team insists on an evidentiary hearing to dig into these claims, while federal prosecutors remain adamant that such a hearing is unnecessary. One of the biggest mysteries is still the origin of the leak itself. Did a disgruntled hotel staff member or a security team contractor pass this along to CNN? Or was it truly an inside job involving federal agents or other high-ranking officials with a vested interest in tarnishing Diddy's name? And while prosecutors want to shut down these conspiracy theories, Diddy's defense team isn't likely to give up on this line of questioning. This legal back and forth over the leaked footage is just the tip of the iceberg in Diddy's ongoing battle. The courtroom drama is bound to intensify as both sides gear up for trial. But for Diddy, the stakes couldn't be higher. He isn't just facing potential prison time, he's grappling with a permanent stain on his legacy. Each twist and turn in this case adds fuel to a media firestorm, making it clear that this story is far from over. So, what happens next? Will Diddy's team succeed in challenging the prosecution and proving a case of government sabotage? Or will federal prosecutors put this issue to rest, pushing the case toward a swift and decisive trial? Only time will tell. But as new information surfaces, we'll be right here breaking it down for you. Let us know in the comments, do you think the government's involvement is more than they're letting on, or is Diddy grasping at straws? Thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe for all the latest updates on this unfolding saga.